Three parents looked down together when the team group chat tag lit up on my phone. It started like every other Saturday. Wobbly bleachers, cleats, a cooler of slices, and someone's speaker blasting throwbacks. My son Owen plays second base. He still checks the stands after every inning to make sure I'm there. I always am. That's the problem. I notice the tiny adult reactions that pretend they're just sports. My ex, Kendra, sat 2 rows up with her new boyfriend, Matt, who claps like he's trying to earn a badge. Kendra and I have a rule. Games stay peaceful. No arguing. We save the fights for texts. Owen struck out in the first inning and walked back, blinking hard. I felt it like a bruise. I leaned toward Kendra and said, "Lo, he looks white. He was up late at your place." She didn't turn. "Don't," she said. Second inning, Owen bobbled a routine grounder. The other team's parents cheered like it was October baseball. Our side went quiet for 1 second too long. I hated that second. I texted Kendra privately. Maybe earlier bedtime on Fridays would help. No emojis, no accusation, just me trying to control something that isn't mine anymore. Then my phone buzzed. A banner slid down. "You were tagged." 3 parents in front of me looked down at the exact same time. My stomach dropped before my brain caught up. It was the team group chat. Coach Dillard's wife runs it. On my screen was a screenshot of my text to Kendra. My message bubble sat there, clean and damning. Maybe earlier bedtime on Fridays would help. Under it, Kendra had replied in the chat, "Please stop blaming me in private and acting supportive in public." My face went hot. I typed, "That wasn't for the group," then erased it because it sounded guilty. I typed, "I'm worried about him," erased. Every sentence felt like I was negotiating with a jury. I looked up. Kendra finally turned around. Her expression was flat. Matt's clapping hand stopped mid-motion, and he suddenly found the outfield fence fascinating. A mum I joked with last week about cleats shifted her tote bag so it blocked her phone screen. Another dad stared at his shoes like they had instructions. Nobody wanted to be the first person to judge me out loud, so they just quietly rearranged themselves away from me. I could feel my pulse in my ears. In that quiet, my own breathing sounded loud, like I was the one heckling. I kept telling myself it was just a screenshot, just a misunderstanding, but the way people held their faces told me it had already turned into a story about my character. Coach Dillard walked past the bleachers without his usual nod. His jaw was tight, almost official, like he'd filed me under drama. Owen came up to bat again. He glanced at me, searching for my face. I forced a smile that probably looked wrong. I clapped too loud, too fast. A couple people stopped clapping entirely. After the game, Kendra didn't let Owen run to me first. She intercepted him with a hug that was half comfort, half claim. Owen looked confused, then looked at me like he'd messed up. On the walk to the parking lot, Owen asked, "Did I do bad?" And I said, "Nobody," too quickly. Kendra heard it and tightened her grip on his hand like I'd said something else. In the parking lot, I said, "Why would you post that?" Kendra didn't raise her voice, because you don't hear yourself unless everyone hears you. Matt opened the passenger door for her like this was a date. That tiny gesture felt like a verdict. At home, I checked the group chat again. The screenshot wasn't deleted. It was buried under "Great game" and snack duty reminders, like the community had stamped me and moved on. That night, Coach's wife texted, "Let's keep the chat for team stuff. No emoji, just policy." Kendra texted too. "Don't talk about my house in writing." I stared at my phone and realized the worst part wasn't getting tagged. It was handing her a perfect screenshot of me being the parent everyone hates, the one who audits bedtime like it's custody court, even when it's just baseball.